Hey guys, VG15 here. So VG15 Outbreak is like almost over. There's like only one thing left to do. What all VG15 shows do when they're over 12 and 12. But let's recap episode 8. Pick a place to shoot yourself, Will, and just do it. Basically, Crystal's kidnapped, Will's gone crazy because he shot someone, and Mason's trying to hold everything together like he always does. Basically, Gregson makes a blog and he's like, I'm gonna go to LaFleur's safe house and everything's gonna be good. Will is acting crazy. They're gonna expose Shentek as a front for the order. Gregson tells us the name of that coffin thing we found called Cavion. We still don't know what it is. He also wants a new t-shirt to wear. Wah. Then Gregson's in a public bathroom. He's on his way to LaFleur's. Gregson says that this is all Jonas's fault, and Jonas, whoa, back up, Gregson. You need to back off of Jonas. Don't be mad at him just because he has such great abs and we have yet to see yours. Then Gregson leaves the public bathroom only to find out that he's in a public bathroom at Walmart. Ew. Then Gregson goes out to the car. Will is driving and Will is crazy, and Will is like, oh my god, we need to leave now because there's a car behind us that I've never seen before. Oh my god, freak out, Will. Then they pull into a rest stop and Gregson's like, LaFleur is acting weird, Will is acting insane. And they're driving two separate cars now so that anything like happens to one of them, the other person can like bail them out with a car. I don't know. Then Gregson says some things about Cavion. He says instead of driving around the country and like killing new trait-positive girls, they're gonna take one trait-positive girl and use her blood forever. Basically, Underworld. I told you. Then this person called the new ICU makes a video. Basically, he shows a bunch of cars on a parking lot and he's like, oh, look at all these cars. Everyone has their own story. I have no life, so I have to film parking lots. Then the new ICU types on the screen and he's like, oh my god, Grayson, did you find out what Cavion is? I don't care because you're gonna die. He focuses on a car and he's like, oh my god, hey, LaFleur. So LaFleur is like in this white car. And then he's like, hey, guess what? You're gonna die because I put a bomb in your car. Oops, sorry. And the car blows up and LaFleur's dead, basically. The new ICU prevails, I guess. Then Gregson and Will are outside of Shentek. They're gonna go save Crystal. Gregson says, listen to the radio, call me on the walkie-talkie, let me know if anything crazy's going down. And Will is left alone in the car. It's like always a bad idea to leave Will alone in a car, or anywhere for that matter. He's like a 5-year-old, Gregson. Take him with you, hold his hand. Will's left alone, he usually fails at something. Sure enough, all these alarms start going off and Will's on top of the parking garage and he's like, whoa, I should call Gregson because alarms are going off. And apparently he can't hear them inside of the building. So Will calls Gregson and he's like, Gregson, you should probably get out of there. Something's going on. And Gregson's like, really, Will? Really? Thank you for letting me know. And then there's some gunshots and Gregson's pretty much badass and he needs to take me out. There's a bunch of gunfire and then, while Will is waiting by the car, Gregson comes out and he has Crystal in his arms. Crystal's safe, everyone. Good to know. And then Gregson puts Crystal in the car and he's like, Will, take the other car and take this hard drive. It has everything that you need to tell the FBI about on it so that we can expose the order. And Will's like, okay, I'll take the other car. That way, if they follow us, they won't know who to follow, Crystal or the hard drive. Will's driving in the car and he sees this other car and it's totally on fire and completely blown up. And Will's like, no! So we have to assume that it's Crystal and Gregson's car. But they were both in the car. And Will's like, what was all this for? Where? Then Gregson's at some place and it's like dark and he's like shot, I think. And he's like, oh, I just want to tell you guys that I failed. And Crystal, I love you. And that you cannot escape the order. They'll always find you. Here's an idea, Gregson. If you don't want the order to find you, turn off the camera. You're just like asking for trouble when it's like recording and then you post it for the world to see. Hello? Why don't you give Crystal some advice and tell her to put down the effing camera? And Gregson's dying and he's like, my real name is Gregory Almeida or Mita or Elmida or whatever. It's something, okay? Stop changing your name, Gregson. I don't like it. It's messing me up. You're like, I'm Greg this, I'm Mason this, I'm blah 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 blah. Pick one. Then Will is in a bathroom, which I assume is at the apartment building that he lives in. And he has the gun, and he's like, oh, my life's so difficult. I gotta end it. This was all for nothing. Pick a place to shoot yourself, Will, and just do it. Crystal comes in the bathroom. And she's like, what are you doing? Put the gun down. I love you. I'm back. And then they start making out, and it's really weird. Makes them put the gun down, they make out, and end of video. Before all of that, Crystal basically just says that she doesn't know where Mason is, and she's like, worried. So whose car was that and why is Crystal alive and is Gregson really dead? I think so. And I'm kind of pissed because he was supposed to take me out for a lobster dinner. I've never had a guy kill himself before in order to get out of a date with me. I'm offended. Ugh. Personal insult. Oh, and there's gonna be a 12 and 12. So if you're into that, if you care, it's gonna happen and I'll be there. So yay.